Good morning. You want to try that again, baby girl? We had some technical difficulties, and someone had her keep her eyes open. Let me check, make sure. We had to fully. Good morning, Phantom. We had to fully delete and reinstall our stream because when we were doing the marbles, it had downloaded two stacks of this. Yeah, yeah, I done you the first time. I am gonna start doing a little bit more. I'm glad that you made me. I think I should show up on much more. That is support for that screen. Now I'm sharing it over. Oh, no, it's good. So if you hear me call it Twitter, it's because it's what it is. And I like to go there. Oh, I'm up. Okay. Sorry. This is why people have a starting screen. I have a slight problem. Two things. First, I forgot my password. The pin. Second, I don't know where my thermal charger is.
Last time I seen your thermal charger is I'm ready. Ask Tyler for the same thing. Yeah, it's been one heck of a morning. Still trying to keep going. And it's life, but it didn't go, which was really weird. What are you doing today, Pepper? You're welcoming. Yes, I am doing a few things behind the scenes. I'm trying to get my.
Does that help with lighting?
Yeah, that's right.
Outside. Found mine. Right here. Oh, sorry. As soon as I am like, I'm not like, hello, into Phil.
Well,
Sorry, it took me a bit to pronounce. Oh yeah, Mom. I just now realized something. You know the thing that we were doing about if people don't have hands and then we saying
yeah.
So we put a hand. What? Oh. Do you want to know? Sure. Oh my. So I know you have such a thing.
We are not talking about that right now. We're not sponsored right now.
The last time I was on this was May 23rd at 2:19. I know that is kids. It still shows. It shows that it's 2:19.
Yeah.
May 23rd. Today is the 3rd, correct?
I do believe so, yes.
Maybe dinosaurs are dead.
Oops. Mm-hmm.
Good morning, Salmon Nation.
Good morning, woman.
I'm down here because it's comfier sitting on the floor than in a chair.
What you do?
No, it's because I haven't sat on a carpet in how long?
A few days.
In action.
A few days. Mm-hmm. You forgot.
Mm-hmm.
I said my password isn't. Are you kidding me today? I'm sorry. Saying that password
Is it on the correct one?
Nah. Don't think I didn't think of that. Yeah. Give me my tablet, please. Gosh damn it. No.
Hey then, Gems. Of
Well,
course we remember you.
Where's she talking from? Right here. Okay, grab that. Yo.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Literally, that's amazing. I am actually checking something real quick. Trying to figure it out. Both of them. Yeah, it is not being nice today. Um,
I'm just like hidden in the background, kind of, sort of, getting Sora's company right now.
so I didn't. Okay, according to the history, according to the dispute thing, I didn't. do a copyright thing. It says it doesn't affect my channel, but because 61% of my audience is based overseas, that is why I got the violation. Make that make sense. Tell me you're trying. Tell me you're not. You're trying to censor someone without telling me you're trying to censor. Yeah, that's good. Uncle Bacon. How are you doing today, Sad Number Nation?
Or why not just take the chemo? Maybe.
Then I have to adjust it. What do you like?
My lady.
Say hello.
Sometime donation. Yonder lost one of my hoodies.
So we are just chilling. She's refreshing. We got things. I still do.
It's comfy.
Mm-hmm.
Can't breathe.
Oh, someone's not awake yet. I don't see. Shh, they're sleeping.
I'm about to go on my Discord and remind them.
Speaking of Discord, it is not like you guys. Thank you for the likes. You guys are amazing. I've got 5 already. Yeah, I found out that downloading Avengers on my computer was a really bad. Oh yeah. Okay. I guess
Marty spends talking about shut down.
Anyway, that will. I'm sorry for the echo. Excuse me.
Yeah, did you see the next update for Discord?
No.
Look, see the background for it? You can change it to whatever you want.
Oh, yeah. It's been one.
Since I have one for it.
Oh, he got it.
What would be the messages on the Discord for the East? Wolf's ex-girlfriend. Casey, Ellie is bullying me again. Arrest him. Galaxy. Faggot, no I'm not. Casey, stage the being is Stephen Cookie Head.
Who's this person on?
Good morning. This is for East Wolves. Gosh. I kind of regret going to this.
Yes, I definitely need more. Pure black only because I have to make more. It's really hot.
You're beautiful.
Yes, whatever.
There's two bright for like that freaking background on my Gmail. I currently have 321, now 282.
Nice.
Nice. So many freaking and then more potions and some
Disconnect. Oh dear Lord, heaven almighty, freaking people need to learn how to use your words. That it makes some snarky freaking comeback versus using this because of an Dave, it's words. Get out your feelings. People that are stuck in their feelings, but I grew up with Sticks and Stones and Breaking Bones, but names never hurt me. Which I dealt with a lot of shit in my life. And Bunko, do you get offended if people call you names, or you just laugh it off?
Sometimes I'm offended, most of the time I just
Depends on the day of the week. Not me.
or the time of month.
Well, I mean, we all have bitch week. That one don't count. I said what I said. Are you keeping an eye on Marty's?
Yeah. 1 minute till almost making sure. I hate having emails.
Did you know about the snake plant?
Sorry about that. Okay. In the meantime, we're gonna have a little fun.
Yeah, he's not live yet.
Sam, will you do us a huge favor? Actually, she's gonna try to keep up with it because, well, why? Besides that,
No.
Blind reacts. How you normally let us know when the countdown is, whatnot. But she's got to pay attention because she needs to be #1 contributor. So, we'll see. gonna have a little fun in the meantime.
Public service announcement. You can't force your kids to share. You can teach them to share, which is to say that you can explain the transactional or moral benefits of allowing someone else to use your property. But the moment you force them, well, what you've really done is teach them that anytime they want something, they should go seek out an authority figure that will take it from somebody else and give it to them. Then those kids grow up and become congressmen or head of the HOA. Public service announcement. You can't.
Do you understand what you're saying? No, I understand.
Okay. Alright, let's see what other words of wisdom he has.
Well, the office of Gavin Newsom put out a tweet accusing Stephen Miller of being a fascist. And of course, he immediately followed it up with a lengthy explanation of what fascism is and how Stephen Miller's ideas correspond with it. No, wait, no, he didn't do that because they never do. And a lot of conservatives will say, yeah, Nick, we know, this is just an accusation they throw out here to deprive us of moral legitimacy. Yeah, no, it isn't. You still don't get it. They call you a lot of things to try to deprive you of moral legitimacy, but when they start calling you a fascist, that's because they're signifying to their audience that it's okay to hurt you. Yeah, that's the difference. They're not trying to deprive you of moral legitimacy. They're trying to create their own moral framework where it's okay to physically harm their political opponents. You know, kind of like a fascist did. Well, this is a very timely message for anyone on the left right now.
It is a very sad day in America when you are planning you and your family's exit strategy.
It makes sense. It makes sense because after all, after this Charlie Kirk guy was killed, I mean, just conservatives rushed to the streets in order to burn millions of candles to the ground. Like tens of thousands of them colluded at this rally to forgive their enemies. I mean, what happens next?
There's evidence that they are trying to make a law to where we can't even get passports.
Oh my gosh, they won't even let you get passports? I mean, this makes sense. I can understand why the people getting murdered for trying to have peaceful conversations would want to keep the people celebrating their murder close, right? That's totally a coherent strategy. But listen, I don't think you should be forced to stay in a country that you clearly hate and find fearful. You need to escape to some place that actually shares your values, like North Korea or maybe Portland.
Oh my goodness, he's normal. Like, pretty hard. I actually do like his rhetoric.
Well, Donald Trump and RFK came out recently and showed that there were some pretty compelling studies demonstrating a connection between pregnant women taking Tylenol and autism. So, a bunch of pregnant progressive women dutifully ran out to social media and videoed themselves taking Tylenol, apparently in a sign of solidarity with autism. You know, if Donald Trump came out in favor of abortion, he could probably save millions of lives. Well, Donald Trump and RFK came out recently and
let me know what you think in the comments below. Ouch. I need my pepper with the comments because I can't. That's right. Thank you, Summer. All right.
we're entering a different era. Be careful that you don't conduct yourself in such a way that would diminish the legacy that Charlie Kirk left behind. Because his wife and children are watching. But by the same token, do not be lulled into a false sense of security that we can continue on as we have before. Something has changed. It is now our responsibility to make sure that as we fight evil, we also provide a vision of what could be, what is true, and what is noble, and what is just, and what is loving.
Yeah.
Thank you, Charlie. As I said before, your fight's over. But ours is just beginning. We're entering a different.
I want to go into labs, fix that, and make it only.
That's because you keep dropping down.
Oh, look!
Well,
All you gotta do is just put it on.
because we're sitting next to the
All you
screen.
gotta do is just pull it over the camera.
Good? There. Are you watching for his live?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is a spicy meatball. But he's not wrong. Okay, I need to mute it.
Remember to use.
Let's see if she has any trouble.
Free Palestine. Wait, hold on. Didn't you just say you hated Charlie Kirk because you claimed he was racist and homophobic? But now you support Palestine, which literally has policies that are racist and homophobic? By that logic, that doesn't make sense. Well, that's different. Okay, and didn't you also just say you can't ban abortion because people will still do it, right? Exactly. So shouldn't same logic apply to firearms? People will just find them illegally if you ban them. No, that's different. Okay. And my body, my choice, you get to choose what you put in your body, right? Yes, I get to choose what I do with my own body. Cool, so that does apply to like experimental drugs and vaccines too? Absolutely not. Get it or be fired. Cool. And free speech, you want to say anything without consequences, right? Yes, our free speech has been under attack. Funny, didn't Google literally just admit, like yesterday, they were censoring people for speaking out about Schmovid? What do you have to say about that? That's different? Consistency is hard, huh? Free Palestine. Wait, hold on.
Okay. What do you mean, nope, not working? Their logistics are not. Nope. Monko, what do you think? Were you listening on that one?
Is
No.
it? It's stupid. Oh my man.
did read that some mom who said it's about it's yeah. It's the spicy meat butter. My brain don't want to brain.
So I know this is going to ruffle some feathers, but it needs to be said. Please know that I am coming from a place of love because I know that your efforts come from a good place. But white liberals, you are not saving the Black community. You are holding us back. It's not allyship, it's enabling. You excuse destructive choices, you lower the bar, you hand out sympathy instead of standards, you call that progress. Here's the truth that nobody wants to say out loud. We're not the only group with a painful past. Jewish people survived genocide and rebuilt. Asian immigrants came here with nothing, built thriving businesses and schools. We don't hand them safe spaces. We don't rewrite laws to excuse their failures. We don't glorify victimhood for anyone else. So why is that standard different for us? We built an entire system around the lie that Black people can't compete, and we call it justice. DEI, affirmative action, safe spaces, watered down schools, and even lighter sentences for crime. That's not empowerment. That's soft bigotry dressed up as compassion.
That is so true. And with Black people that continue to lean on white liberals to justify their behavior, all they're doing, the only thing that they are doing is continuing to make excuses as to why they cannot do what they're supposed to do. And I like to call that the victim Olympics. And we have victim Olympians in first, second, and third place, and they are fighting for victim Olympics. At no point did making anything easier, right, when it comes to giving people handouts that wasn't deserved or allowing for people to continue to commit crimes without penalties and holding them accountable for bad behavior. At any point did passing people through schools that didn't deserve to be there, and I'm not talking about affirmative action that was originally created for people that did deserve and was capable of being able to pass through these institutions. The institutions themselves have become liberal indoctrination camps, which is one of the reasons why the Trump administration is saying that it needs to be merit based and we can't discriminate against people based off of the fact that they are a specific color, which is the overcorrection for what white liberals feel guilty about their ancestors doing to Black people. And at some point, it's like, don't y'all realize that y'all are enablers? It's almost like the mother that continues to give money to her drug dealing slash, taking son, and all she's doing is continuing to keep him in this perpetual state that's not going to allow for him to be a productive human being and adult. And so she's enabling him instead of helping him, and she's actually making his life worse.
So I know this is going to ruffle some feathers.
I mean, that's freaking spot on. Okay, I have a section. I did. Monko, are you paying attention?
Yes, I have an 20% off. I already have 2 people coming in. One is already in here. He's been in here. He just hasn't said it.
Is Marty what? That's what I'm talking about.
Yes, I think he.
Remember we need to get your. Okay, we're gonna wait on that one. But you need to put the first.
Marty's not yet seen. He said. I have a freaking pizza class.
Okay. And you guys are gonna see agree or disagree because kind of fun. Oh, y'all can't make this shit up. You ready? Uncle, I need you to look up here. Hold on.
I know.
Okay. Fudging and stop. Right, ready? Come on.
I heard Donald Trump is
What?
sending all of the illegals out of the country.
What's it in?
But if the eagles are sick, why doesn't he just take them to the vet?
What the hell?
Oh, that is not part of that. Why are you bringing another shit? Yeah.
Did you plan?
It starts when Marty starts. This is kind of.
I heard Donald Trump
This
is
is kind of.
It is so stupid. Like, what the heck is wrong with you, lady?
You want to hear something crazy? There's roughly 340 million people in America, give or take. And of those 340 million people, around 7% of them believe that a brown cow produces chocolate milk. Now, I'm certainly not the brightest crayon in the box, definitely not the sharpest knife in the drawer. But that correlates to about 23.8 million people that are currently walking around in America right now that believe every time that they pass a brown cow, that some bitch produces chocolate milk. These are the same individuals that are allowed to walk around unsupervised, handed driver's license, and are allowed to get behind the wheel of a car. Can we please take the warning label off of most of everything and just let natural selection run its course? I do believe that that would take care of most of our problems. Just saying.
I heard Donald Trump.
You want to hear
Come
something
on.
crazy?
I hit pause, you darn thing. Oh. Okay, so you gotta sit up and actually watch the video for this one. Go.
I'm scared.
Ready?
You wanted pads with wings, so they got you pads and they got you the wings.
Ryan, I needed pads with wings.
Hello? Pads with wings. Pads? They got you wings.
Okay. What wings? What do you mean wings?
See, no wings. Pads and wings.
Pads with wings.
Yeah, pads with wings.
Pads with wings.
Pads with wings.
Pads with wings.
I didn't know if you didn't say wings.
Why did you buy me wings?
Because you got some wings. I don't know what you want. So I got the buffalo and the garlic farm.
I mean, at least they were sweet. You get my goods?
Yeah. Yeah, heavy duty odor stuff.
Oh, you got my goods.
Yeah, I hate when you
I didn't ask for the pads.
you said pads with wings, so pads and wings.
Got your pads and wings.
Yeah, but I want it pads with wings.
You can send me look. Pads with wings. And look, I also got you black. Pads with wings.
Kyle, right. I said pads with wings, bro.
I did. I got your pads with wings. I sure. I didn't know. I just got bread.
Okay, Lanny is the third. Welcome in.
Holy shnikers!
What about you?
Pads with wings.
That's not.
Not yet. How are you doing today?
How the hell are you even in here? Normally you never come in here.
Because he's not my ex. We're having a little bit of what the fuck. Would you agree or disagree? Before Marty's life. So do you agree with the guys about it? Or do you disagree?
Boy, you could probably pick me up some chocolate covered strawberries. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. No,
yeah.
no offense to you males, but guys need brains. They need brains. I'm not saying that Pope nor Sona don't have brains, because I'm sure they do. I hope they do. Oh, what the hell? At this point, what the hell is this girl coming through?
Oh, crap. Oh.
I just can't.
Okay.
You ready? No.
Do you
So I was
agree or
telling a
disagree?
client that this year, my son dropped a kid for calling his Vietnamese friend racial slurs. He told him to quit being a fucking racist. And the kid put his hands on him, and my son gave him something to think about on the way to the nurse. Now, I picked my kid up from school, then took him for ice cream. And my client says, stop telling your kids if someone hits them, hit them back. You're part of the problem.
No.
No, I'm not. I'm the solution your kid wasn't ready for.
Yep.
You think I'm going to send my child into school like a little lamb and tell him, go get an adult in the midst of being mollywopped? Absolutely fucking not. This isn't Daniel Tiger's conflict resolution. This is real life. I don't raise bullies, but I'm sure as shit not raising a victim who stands there like, please stop hitting me. I'm emotionally aware. My kid's going to pop off like they've been waiting their whole life for the green light. I'm not going to sit there in the principal's office like, oh, I told him to walk away. Because no, the fuck I didn't. I told him to aim center mass and don't stop until it's over. And if your kid started it, I don't care how it ended. If you want to raise your child to be a gentle negotiator, go for it. But if they bring that open palm diplomacy into a hallway fistfight, they're going to meet my kids' knuckle biscuits. I'm not sending my kids to school so they can work on their breathing exercises mid-ass whooping. They're not going to sit there like, I'm feeling unsafe in my body right now. And if you think that way, it's because your kid loses every fight they start. Cry about it.
Not that video again. No.
So, the last one that we just watched. What did you think about it?
So I was telling a client.
And the idea that you could
So I was telling a client.
This one here. Sorry, guys. So, when you were growing up, were you allowed to hit people? What would happen if you hit a child at school? What would happen if a child hit you? Really?
Any time.
What did I tell you? What did I teach you? The 3 strikes rule. Self-defense. There for a reason.
The reason why I say 3 strikes they're out. A kid tried picking a fist fight with me at this most recent school. It was during final exams too. He tried picking a fist fight with me. After he swung that 3rd time, I went straight for the nose, knocked him out instantly.
What did you have to do at our previous place all winter long?
Hollywood.
What'd you have to do if you got in trouble?
Hollywood. And the couch.
You mean the truck chain? The tow truck, the tow train, tow chain,
Tow train?
tow train, tow chain.
What, is
Puffer's
it for
heavy.
like this type of tow?
No, towing,
I know.
as in towing the vehicle. See, I didn't have to hit. I got creative. But don't get me wrong, they really fucked up. They knew what an ass beating was. Alright, y'all tell me,
Especially my dad.
make this make sense. Okay? Again, would you agree or disagree with this?
This is really shocking.
Is this conspiracy theory or is this reality? What I'm about to tell you is going to shock you because I fact-checked this according to AI. It's a meat market bill. It is a trafficking bill. It is unbelievable. So much so, don't believe me. Go to real an individual to obtain this new form that comes with the bill. They fill it out, and they can name a child. John goes to a school in California and says, I have this form, and I am asking for Susie Q to be received into my custody. I want to take her out of school. The bill does not require a background check for this man. Requires no identification, no driver's license, no nothing. There's no requirement in the bill for the school to call you to ask you if it's okay if John takes your daughter out of school. If this bill passes, I'm going to ask you to leave the state of California. You're going to need to pack up and you're going to have to get out. You got to get out. You got to run with your kids. You got to
So
go.
I'm not Dalmatian when I see you.
I'm going to ask you some questions about AB 495.
He purposely went
Yes,
first.
or no answer. According to AB 495, a
My
child
freaking thing was loading.
from their caregiver. Is that correct? Yes. According to AB 495, it says that this includes non-relative extended family members who can sign the affidavit. This also includes them. Yes. Could anyone essentially fall into the category of a non-relative family member? Is there anything in this bill explicitly that would prevent a stranger from kidnapping a child?
Yeah, but you know I wanted to get
provided
first.
they fill out the affidavit claim to be a non-relative. This is not conspiracy theory. This is right.
And the idea that you could
I'm going to hold that one next. He hasn't started his countdown yet? Okay. So the last one that we just watched. What do you think? And sometimes I've started midnight. Sit up here. What do you think of that bill?
I couldn't even hear him.
We are going to jump over to the other. And we will finish the scene when we'll Free for all Friday.
Aww. Someone Dalmatian, you're gonna make me cry. Scroll up.
Thank you, Sama. ADB beat you before.
I know. Even though it wasn't letting me send it. This is the problem.
Blessing of the Divine Dead. Remember, not every test he gives is a pass fail. Some tests he gives is to teach you an important lesson or to humble my fellow baby or baby. That is so true. From parents.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog Studio in a new location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America. It's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to Party Night Live with your host, the one and only P-Dog Night.
Hey, everybody. Sorry about the abrupt intro, but because I'm late, I didn't do it now. Let's go. Good morning, everybody. I'm your host, Marty, also known as P-Dog Night. Welcome back to P-Dog Night Show. Where I thought about just on vacation for this. Just, I want to thrive on this crap. Oh, by the way, I kind of come to the realization as I think about little meeting with channels. I look back and I go, they could have done that. My degree. The message, I think, is important. I think they need to get back to just worrying about being the very best, being the very best, war fighters, whatever, best military, whatever. And that's a great message. And then stupid bullshit. It just seems like that was a little kid ready. I watched some of the president buses, and it was a little too political. It should not be political. The military does not be political. So I'm kind of annoyed by that. But again, I don't agree with everything. No one should. I mean, if he's done something that you don't like, you should say something. That's what I would do. So I don't know why I back him up early in this show, because it's free for all, right? It could be anything. It's also Friday Q&A, so the question box is open. If you haven't shared the stream, well, I shared the stream. I just didn't give you all a place to share from. So here, hang on. Share this stream. Where's the link? I'll drop the link. So, here's the link. Twitter thing. So let's go. Hang on a minute, because
Let's see if I can find it.
oh, it's also Friday. Last night, there are once a week I ask people, and that's pretty sure. Helps me continue doing this, and also good for your soul. So I just thought maybe, it's Johnny really just. Oh shit. Yeah, Mark, what are you doing? Copy and paste. That's all it's paste. There we go. Share the stream, please. And as I said already, write a Q&A. Make up a question. It can be serious, it can be not serious. It can be serial. I like it because people ask me about serial. And there you go. So, let's close a couple windows. Where's the champ? Is it, oh. There you go. It was Abominable Nation gets the bell. Beat out the man. AD, but also the right Castiati. Second today, Midnight. Very close. Very close, Midnight. You're getting it's close. Also morning. The Pope is here. Pope with the inspiring message of the day. Yes, Pope Tyrannus III, the Blessed Lich, blessings of the divine dead. Remember that every test he gives is a pass or fail. Some tests he gives is to teach you an important lesson. Thank you. Also, good morning. Civic Magic, welcome. Resolute German in the house. Mike Savage. Renee May is here. And 1, 2, 3. Still trying to catch up with all the streams.
Also, by the way, reminder, or Marty's Victory, or Marty Got Jokes. I have 3 of them for different purposes. I posted some of the pictures from the great trip back. Maybe look at some of those today. That'll be fun. Let's just do some shit today. I'm like I said, burned down a little bit on the booze. But we'll, you know. Also, the morning Jack was running together to stream this wild wolf. Jay Blizzard, JB's in the house. Good morning. And looks like about that's 4 back so far. Hit the like button if you like it, or when you like it, or if you like it.
Oh dear Lord.
Turn it on! Today's coffee is brought to you by Taylor's Made Right. Best loose meat sandwich on the planet in Marshalltown, Iowa. The original Taylor's Made Right, the second store at the Jade of 19.
Yeah, it's fine. No worries.
1928. And then the second one was Marshalltown. And the second one, the Marshalltown, was still there since 1928. 1928, the place opened. And it's a staple here right from Central Iowa. Just make it complete to Marshalltown, Iowa. They don't pay me for that either. I grew up going to Taylor's Made. Every time I go visit my grandparents, they're loose meat hamburgers. Basically, it's just seasoned hamburger, ground up, and it's some mustard, it's pickles, and some. That's it. And they're amazing. I'm telling you, if you ever get anywhere near there, go to Taylor's Made, right? Marshalltown. All right. Let's see. Thanks to people who already shared the stream. I don't know who that is yet, but I see some notifications in my notification thingy. Looks like. Oh, what's that?
Oh, right. Holy crap. Actually getting my ex now.
We'll start with Somnable Nation. Thank you for tweeting out the show. As you always do, you always beat. Actually, beat to it, but you're pretty damn close. Or maybe you did. I don't know. Thanks. Also, you need scrambled. So simple yet so good. Oh, yeah. Is that what you call them? Scrambled sandwiches? I just call them made rights. Someone said they're called loose meat sandwiches. Good morning, Keisha. What up, Keisha? Also, Somnable Nation. That's CG throwing up the TG. Snoop Dogg, my wife's favorite celebrity. Also, this is, yeah, I know who this is. CJ Punk, right? Yeah, CJ Punk. Thank you, Mrz-Wild-Wolf, the Daily Wrestler from the Let's Go. Reposted that too. And Mrz-Wild-Wolf shared the stream. Exactly that. That's the best to have it in. I agree with you. You know, and then the daily. Kitties! Kitties, so cute! And then, little George Jefferson jamming out. Yeah, George, come on, George. That's I don't know. Sherman has hilarious. And then, what is this, Renee? Getting ready for the weekend. Getting rid of that brassiere.
Oh dear Lord. Nope. Guys.
And then thank you, Keisha. Oh.
I'm trying to get something from a freaking egg that's taking so long.
And who's this? Message. This is the second time messages retweeted my show. Someone with 0 followers and zero followers who have not followed anybody. Let's figure that one out. Good morning, Ray Lewis, the real Ray Lewis. Tyler Alexander with the daily. Woo! All right, let's get into some news and stuff. I want to get through this quick. I would definitely want to get to Friday. questions in Friday Q&A. They can be serious, they can be not serious, they can be weird or salty or inspirational. And I'll do the best to ruin the mood. I don't know what I do this. So, oh, holiday. Hang on a second. Let's see what the holidays are today, because I don't have any Twitter holidays. Here we go. Oh, if you're a lady, ladies, it's National Boyfriend Day. You know what to do.
Wow.
Celebrate National Boyfriend Day with your special self.
Marty.
Your appreciation. Chocolates and special gifts.
I know the perfect gift for your dad right now. A butt cushion because he broke his leg. Am I wrong?
Oh, I suppose it could be guys too.
Oh dear. Lord, stay at home.
Anyway, also World Smile Day. Let's give some of the Smile Day. It's Mean Girls Day. Now this is the one I do have on the list. I forgot I actually had this. It's time to fetch your pink shirt. Enjoy the October 3rd is Mean Girls Day. There's some joke and movie about October 3rd. It's also even National Kevin Day, whatever, who cares? Ancestors Day, same as yesterday.
You know, you're missing out her.
National Techies Day, Maharaja Agasa Jayanti Day. Okran Battle. There's a whole bunch of horrid things here. And it is not Rosh Hashanah. It's not Rosh Hashanah right now, is it? They keep putting Rosh Hashanah up here. Anyway, and buy British Day. If you're a Brit, go buy some British. All right. Let's move on. What? It's my SNL's. Wait, my son. Oh, it's your son-in-law's birthday. Happy birthday to your son. Lord, stand up. Morning. Blue light screen. Hi. Okay. Now, the Mean Girls Day thing. I did have this on the list. Okay. And it just happens to be this also Taylor Swift's turn because she popped out an album. And so apparently it's the why they let's look at this. Mean Girls Day fans worldwide mark the 21st anniversary of the 2004 film Mean Girls October 3rd by sharing quotes, wearing pink, and posting clips from the iconic classroom scene where Katie Heron declares the date. Oh! Celebration go outside. Genesis. They call it 12 solo album. So that's appropriate because she got a fly. The light that she's put herself out with like sugar leading to crossover from the official media account. Ultimately, enjoy. In with a post link today to the upcoming Weekly or Friday sequel. Oh, they're doing it. Oh, they're doing that again. That's right. And I guess Jamie Lee Curtis is in that one too. Bob Grant's like Walmart and Power Wash Simulator contributed theme tributes. What the hell is Power Wash Simulator? Anyway, I guess the reason they mentioned it because she mentions the date October 3rd, and so every year, Mean Girls is some kind of what is it? October 3rd, he asked me what day it is. Oh, I see this your Twitter handle or something I talked about. I've never seen that movie, so I have no idea what it means. But speaking of Mean Girls again, Taylor Swift's trending because her album came out. And that's all I have to say about that. Moving on. Diddy's trending.
Thank you.
P. Diddy gets sentenced today. Good morning, everyone. It's a good morning for everyone, unless you were Diddy Combs, who's sentencing this morning, and at an undisclosed time, the prosecution is seeking 11 years in while the defense claims he's reformed you, sir. Serves time served. Agreed. Oh, what do you think? Come on. Now remember, he didn't get convicted on all charges, and which is fucking amazing, because it's gonna be feedback, I guess. But anyway, let's see. Angela Stanton King says, I've been exhausted, y'all. Every time I log on, it's BBC. Nick versus Party, Republicans, Democrat, Candace versus Israel, 50 Cent versus Diddy. At this point, I feel like the internet's just one big WWE, and everybody's got a grudge match scheduled. Can you please call a timeout? Like, let's have one day. Twitter isn't a product of boxing, but now, please be still. Don't get used to rap. You know what? Interesting. So that has nothing to do with Diddy, but I concur. It's getting too wild on Twitter. Just constant information back and forth. There's gonna be some. There's gonna be some bodily fluids flowing. I think it's red colors. It's getting cool. Anyway, so Diddy's being sentenced today. See what happens. Anyone out there looking at other news, if you find out he's been sentenced, let me know. Beautifully. Let's check that. Let's just check the news here on that. Oh, you gotta be kidding. Is this right? This can't. Oh, I see. Some people are saying that it should be time served. Time served, they can't do him in because they know he's got everyone. That's it. He got at the freak offs. Probably got video of everything. Oh, yeah. See, wouldn't shock me at all. And apparently he's 50 Cent, 50 Cent. Curtis Jackson, whatever. Says that Diddy's got a hit on him. Leaves it that. Let's see. Diddy arrived in court as sentencing began in the prostitution case, according to BBC. Combs wearing a white sweater, black pants, and glasses. He got a nose with a gray beard. His 5-year-old children and mother also present today at Combs waves and blows kisses to them. So he's at court right now. So let's see what happens. I wouldn't be shocked this time, so because of that. He's got some celebrity names in them books. He's the call him Black Epstein. Other news, apparently the new Archbishop of Canterbury, who is the head of, he's kind of the Episcopal Pope, so to speak. They have chosen a woman who was pro-choice to be the Archbishop of Canterbury. I grew up in this church, and it's become very noble, very whatever. Which is, I don't care. Bishop of London, Sarah Mullally, shattered a stained glass ceiling. Friday when she shattered stained glass ceiling. And she was announced to be the next Archbishop of Canterbury, the first time woman to choose the church spiritual. Mullally, 63, had cancer, and this became John's chief nursing officer. Faces serious challenges. The church that includes the bishop of retreat from women and LGBTQ. She will also have to confront concerns that the church leaders have stand on the church. I didn't notice that man there. The choice of Mullally is Archbishop of Canterbury designated mark major milestone for the church that made its first priest in 1994. It's supposed to be the bishop in 2015, 2005. Okay, it's interesting. Now we're gonna go through a little celebrity section because a couple of celebrities are trending. Jane Fonda, aka Hanoi Jane, is trending because she's bitching about Donald Trump on I don't know what show. Did you not listen to CNN? Why? Okay, here's what I'm not understanding. Why is CNN Bring it on.
I am currently attempting
Celebrities
to log into
to
my
give us
app.
their opinions on the news and politics. I don't give a fuck what James Bond thinks. And I would say the same thing as Fox News when they bring on, and whoever they bring on over there. It's like, I don't care what she thinks. It's interesting maybe because she's famous, but other than that, this relic of anti-American bullshit, I'm in a land of don't give a fuck of what she thinks. But now, because she's trending, I have to play what she thinks. Let's see what she said. She was bitching about Trump. Here, this is Jane Fonda.
Our statement is when they come for one of us, they come for
she's like,
we're going to stand.
I swear to God, they put so much fucking shellac on her face, whatever, on her face, trying to make like she doesn't have wrinkles. Come on, just be you. She's got all the Botox shit.
Out of this last night, we're going to engage in creative, non-violent, non-cooperation. CNN. We'll take it. I'm good.
Wow, and then this cow with the horse mouth is so excited, and we're gonna be with you because they're pretending not to be political, and they're political. Holy fuck! Here's the why is Jane Fonda still doing her take on the news? Hey, and like Jane, the 60s ball, they want her back. Although she does have some new movie out on Netflix where it's her and Lily Tomlin again, and Lily Tomlin looks normal, like normal for an 80-year-old self, whatever she is. And Jane Fonda's got so much makeup and work that it's got all this smooth skin, but then it still has the turtleneck because you can't get rid of that. It just looks weird. Be an old woman. It's okay to be old. Fuck. So anyway, so here's the Jane Fonda's joke. She's attacking President Trump, saying he does not allow free speech. No one knows better than Trump that would like censored by the left. Yeah. One of the saying, Jane is free to express whatever bad opinion she wants to. Yeah, exactly. But you're on fucking CNN saying the president doesn't allow free speech. Are you in jail yet, Jane? I'm just checking. So anyway, another celebrity in that similar vein who isn't working as much, even as Jane Fonda. Richard Gere also had to put in his 2 cents about Donald Trump.
Did you just like me?
When they just like asking celebrities, Richard Gere and Donald Trump, and the president not only crazy, dark presidents, and have some quickly 6 months.
No, you cannot.
That's an interesting thing. I think Richard Gere.
Okay.
Came back. And look, for someone who, I'm not making a gerbil joke. I'll let Avocados Diablo do that.
Oh dear. AD.
So anyway, those 2 is trending because celebrities. When I see a celebrity trending on X, usually
So last night,
I'd say 4 out of 5 times it's
last night I went to check out
Blue Oyster called this trending. Apparently Donald Trump posted a video on
I stubbed my toe on the soap and then my toe.
and they used Blue Oyster music and here's a copyright violation, whatever, which they probably should. Look, while sometimes this is fun, this shit's getting old to me too. Look, enough with the memes. Let's just enjoy it. Let's just do the job. Serious sometimes. I mean, it's funny, but it's anyway. Harry Sisson, one of the paid influencer farmers. Trump just posted this incredibly weird AI video of himself and JD Vance as the band and Russ Vought as the Grim Reaper. This is what the president's doing on the government shut down. We're so screwed. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that he didn't make this himself. I'm confident he didn't make it himself. But it's see the Dilly made this. You know who Dilly is? He's the guy. He makes a lot of this meme videos, AI videos. So he just reposted what the Dilly meme team, and so people are saying, "Oh, what is going on? He just posted this. What is going on?" Anyway, and so Blue Oyster Cult's trending, as is Calvin. That's why we got the Calvin thing. He was the Blue Oyster Cult here for me. Don't know what it means. Speaking of trending. Moving on, I'm trying to get to this point. Charlotte Police Union is in the news. The Charlotte Police Union has requested National Guard deployment amid a homicide suit. The Charlotte Mecklenburg Fraternal Police sent a letter on October 2nd, 2025, to Mayor Vi Lyles, Governor Josh Sheen, and President Donald Trump, urging the deployment of the North Carolina National Guard to address violent crime in town Charlotte. Union President Daniel G. Rodriguez highlighted. Rodriguez? Oh my God! They allow Hispanics in Charlotte? He highlighted a 14% staffing vacancy in the Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department. 15 homicides since this stabbing death of the Ukrainian refugee Irina Zabriskie. City leaders, including Mayor Lyles, have proposed the request for a solution to the military. Well, yeah, but you're down 15% of your police staff. So what are you going to do, Mayor? I don't know. Now look, that's all local politics, and if the mayor and the police all agree and they do it, I don't care. This idea that you can't have troops on American soil. Oh, really? Didn't Eisenhower have National Guard troops when they were desegregating the Little Rock public schools? Didn't Kennedy have the National Guard out there during protests? I mean, the idea that they would never have the National Guard around on American soil. In fact, here's one that is funny. A lot of Democrats bitch about it. Aren't the Democrats the one who were mad that Donald Trump didn't deploy the National Guard on January 6, 2021? You should never have the National Guard. But the bitch that he didn't deploy the National Guard on January 6th. So anyway, here it is. This is their letter. I'm not going to start. On behalf of the Charlotte Police, this letter says our intent to request federal law enforcement assistance, including the National Guard from Agent Lyles, President Trump's administration. The request is due to the ongoing William City Police leadership to address the severe staffing crisis within Charlotte, which we believe has led to a violence crisis in Charlotte. So again, they're basing it on the fact that they have not. There were major staffing programs in Charlotte. So interesting that Turtle Police is asking. George Floyd is also trending. Now, I'm not, as I scroll through this, trying to figure out 100%, not 100% sure why. But something that someone brought up here is the AP. You do a search of articles of using the name George Floyd, and a search of articles with Irina Zabriskie, that staff on the subway. 74,221 AP articles about George Floyd. Not a single one about Irina Zabriskie.
Yep.
That's weird. They didn't. No one in the AP ever mentioned that story. And now, granted, it's national coverage, whatever. But not a single story in the AP about Irina Zabriskie. Good morning, Brockheimer. Good morning, Steve. But yeah, I haven't quite 100% figured out why George Floyd is true. Other than people still talking about Charlie Kirk versus George Floyd. George says is to try to help the country. He didn't die at the cost, but his death paid the cost to make this country try to fix it. That's all. Oh Lord, and here's probably why. Here's the article. MAGA finds George Charlie Kirk. Here's what he writes. Oh, today, like 5 years ago, controversial man has been transferred to Marshall refused to measure the law. Once again, I think people just say, hey, he sass. And then he has like, wait a moment. Oh, this is the Atlantic. Oh, good God. No wonder. No wonder. I'm sure this is going to be not very good. And is he going to say nice things about your? Because the difference between the two is the circumstances behind them being ended the way they were, or self, or whatever. There's one was trying to have peaceful conversations with some college students about politics, and the other basically robbed the store, passing big bills. Stealing the pregnant with the gun. Very, very different. Very, very different. But you know, they say, oh, this is they found their George Floyd. No, they didn't. There's no comparison. They're completely different circumstances, completely different people. And the only reason I think Charlie Kirk got more notoriety because the way some of you assholes on the left reacted to him. So, here's truth. Some of the right have already been searching for people. No, why would they be searching? No, we're not. No, nobody wants. Oh my God, nobody wants martyrs. In August, an appalling killing nearly provided one in a light from Charlotte, by Canada, likely to establish a New York whose death prompted outrage and ample racism. What? Oh. You know, it's funny. I'm confused about that whole situation because she's a Ukrainian refugee, so they had the red button. Oh, feel bad for the Ukrainian refugee. Oh, don't mention the guy who killed her, and they're struggling with those two. Holy fuck! Who's death prompted outrage, ample race, particularly among conservatives. One Donald Trump's green tech CEO pledged $500,000 for artists to paint murals of Zelensky at cities across the country. Elon Musk immediately offered another $1 million. Well, isn't that what we did with George Floyd? And what you said was an unjust killing. You painted murals of and big statues and all this other shit with George Floyd. Isn't that the standard we live by when there's an unjust killing? Apparently not. Not for a Ukrainian refugee. Oh, God. What is she? Okay. Yeah. Just the Atlantic. Someone here says Melissa Chin. Oh gosh, this I can't. George Floyd's stuff is exploited. Reality distortion creates usher and wholesale cultural revolution will start to feel laws. Music. Is that happen in the context stoked by a media and universities white supremacy. Police. This premise was false, and the canonization of Floyd under this false premise. Contemptuous rumors. You know very well just how much damage disasters result when accountability is taken to pressure from live programs and other people. Equity promotes cancel culture. An act, a cancel culture that punish anyone especially fealty to views in line with this theory. That Charlie Kirk's canonization is not based on politics. He lived honorable moral e.g. stone gaze or reported appeared to fund him narrative by to left with the journalist. Thankfully, Charlie had focus amounts of sources people going directly with those sources. They come to realize that what they told didn't match with who was, which is what they could see with their own eyes. The political environment surrounding Charles was unlike George Floyd's. There is a trend and in particular political targets for base assassination attempt, some successful, and some by the grace of God unsuccessful. ICE agents shot at as the owners of dealerships double attacked. Personally, it's an accurate reflection of this reality and not a simple conversion of using the truth, which is what happened in this case. So it's beyond legitimate for the authorities to respond to an assassination before going to its final third. It is an insult to all that is good in this comparison. So that's why players trying again they're trying to thanks to be Atlantic just during. Good morning, Gunfox. What's up? Good morning. All right. And then the only other thing I want to get to before we get to private Q&A. I saw this tweet or post, whatever, by Andrew Haskins. And it is about Nick Sorter. So this is the post he made. Breaking. Backup blogger Nick Sorter was arrested last night after apparently hiding with an imaginary Antifa. In other words, protesters. Now, this shit, motherfucking shit, man. I need to stop for a second. Thanks, Dan Fox. Hold on. Listen to this now, because I just couldn't hear myself. Backup blogger Nick Sorter was arrested last night for fighting with an imaginary Antifa. In other words, protesters who disagree. It tells us that Ed has been asleep for the last 10 years. Antifa is very and very close. He was charged with disorderly conduct last week. Now it's interesting because look, he's not fighting the police. He's just doing what he's told to do. And this is the video of it. Wow, he's not complaining. He's not protesting the police. Nothing.
What's P-Dogman's username for us?
Now, as I read this, he said, after apparently fighting with imaginary Antifa, right? And I was like, wait a minute, what actually happened? So I went just search on Nick Sorter. And now people are writing about Nick Sorter, independent journalist arrested in political mystery. Mainstream viewers, and now he's arrested on a flimsy disorderly conduct charge where he's doing his job. Now, that's not what happened. Here's what happened at first. There's an attack on him by Antifa. He's in this. You can see the light. He's right in this area right here. You can see all these people wearing black that come and attack him. You can see he gets knocked to the ground, and then he walks away. See, there you go. They're hitting him with whatever. He had his camera. He got knocked to the ground. Then he gets back up, and he's trying to walk away. And so now they're attacking him, and he's protecting himself from them. Okay, so it's clear that they're following him around and attacking him. looking for my PD. So he got attacked by a little black dog. Anyway, at one point, someone was burning a flag, and he fire. Everyone text right now, refreshing. So he did post about this. Here it is. Lots of people posted about it. Mugshots on this file. So yes, yeah, I'm going to try mugshots or mugshots, but we should have it all. So they have that. And, started less than subject so a rare case where the anti-bot shitbag also got arrested. So we'll keep an eye on that. There's a bunch of other articles and links that I gotta do in the Friday Q&A. But thank you, Gunfox61. You are hijacking the show at an inopportune moment, but you know what? You hijacked the show because you dropped the 10 spot in the tip jar, and I'm fucking doing it. You are the big Streamlabs Superstar Songs of the day. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's see. It is starting to happen, he says. Let's find out what Gunfox talking about by clicking the article, an article from the BBC. Johnny, not that BBC. Thank you. Okay, hang on. Oh. Hang on a second. What's this? This is from the BBC. Apple polls U.S. immigration official tracking apps. Apple's poll apps that users like sightings for privacy from U.S. immigration officials. Oh, because so ICE had an app where you could report officers are, like if they're doing a raid and send out warnings to people. Apple's pulled that app. TechChat told BBC it had removed ICE block in its app store after law enforcement made it aware of safety risks associated with hidden similar apps. According to a statement, such box petition had demanded the app, saying that it was designed to put ICE officers at greater sense. Well, no, it does. It absolutely does. Whether you intended to be that way or not. ICE officers are getting shot at and getting harassed and whatever. The app's creator said such things about the false and accused Apple capitulate to an authoritarian regime. You know, the legality of it or not. Interfere with law enforcement. I think there's laws against interfering with law enforcement. Am I right?
Oh crap!
Critics such as the creator of ICE accuse the government of abusing its powers and bringing terror to U.S. streets. You know, sometimes people just a lot of people they just abide by the deportation.
He's gonna be so.
So I'm a little torn on this.
Dismissed it.
Is free speech usually up like that? I don't know. You can't.
You know, he could see us right now. It's
Let's
the
see.
whole nation.
Used to target the FBI saying
Honorable Nation uses shooting.
killing two detainees and use similar apps to track vehicles. statement. Apple said we created the App Store to be a safe, trusted place to discover apps. But its creator, Joshua Aaron, denied it posed a threat. Well,
Okay. There.
maybe, maybe not. This is protected from the First Amendment of the United States Constitution and U.S. government to track licenses. That's a good question for the It's almost the same as incitement, isn't it? That's a tough one. Mr. Aaron, who has worked in the tech industry for years, told NBC America he developed the app out of concern with spike immigration rates. Well, the immigration rate are, of course, I certainly want pretty closely marry Trump's first administration, and I listen to the rhetoric of the campaign. But second, my grades are required for what I do to keep safe. Right as the FBI president, so it is I'm sorry, it's a app designed to circumvent the law. And so probably in Apple's best interest should they could find a way to get it to people some other way still. I personally think that is absolutely. Let's put it this way. Let's say absolutely. So I made an app that could track the detective who is handling the case of murder. So use it to avoid that detective. Should that be against the law? All right, that's it. Let's do it. Today, we're going to try to get through all these because, it's very short list. Okay, good. Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time. It's Friday. You know what we do on Friday. It's time, of course, for our weekly feature, the best part of the show all week long, Friday Q&A.
Wait, how does that one? It shows, have you shared the stream, blah, blah, blah.
Okay. So what we do?
Okay, Friday Q&A. First question of the day. It's Friday Q&A. If you, this is from Avocados Throughout. It's the first question of the day. If you woke up and an article was licking your toes whilst in the corner, a midget was going down on the village pillar.
Oh dear Lord, AB.
Yeah, shit, thumbnail yet. Would you have? Well, it certainly would have. Yeah, it would have distracted me just long enough to forget about that video. But, let's continue here. Midnight asks, if you could rate Avocados Diablo 1 through 10, what would you rate him for how unique he looks? Oh,
look up here.
In the unique department, he's 11. Yes. So that's a compliment. Avocados Diablo asks, when the AI overlords take over with all of the damage of what making manipulations, what will we do with it? Well, when you run out of people, there's always llamas and pigs. So there you go. Lord Stanhope asks, do you understand that we have freedom of speech because no one has to listen to anything directly from anyone's words? It's less sensible or nonsensical. Just read the question. Speech because no one has to listen to anything directly from famous purposes. Yes, I understand. Yes, I was just going to say the answer is yes. Yes, I understand. We have freedom of speech. We don't have to listen to him. By the way, did you notice this. I don't know if you saw this. I saw this morning. National Public Radio, NPR, had a campaign on the internet for fundraising. Apparently, they're not going to they're going to try to get by on donor-funded programs. So good for them. Should have been that way for the last 40 years, or at least since we had the can. Lord Stand-Up asks, think about the derangement of the right to be heard beside in practice that it is a right reserved by the state. Do you really wish to hear everyone's foibles and humilities? Do I sound like I would disagree with you on that? No, there's no right to be heard. That's the thing. There is no right to be heard. That's good point, actually. Yeah, you're free to rave all you want. I don't have to fucking listen to you. I mean, you personally. Afghanistan asks, if someone on death row asks all you can eat fish and bottomless cup of coffee, how much time do you think they could buy before they get executed? I don't think they give you that much time to eat your last meal. They can give you whatever you want for your last meal, but that means you get finished. You set the time. Here's your last meal. Here's the time you're getting the, and that's what. Then you're done. If you're not done with your all-you-can-eat fish meal, sorry, you're just gonna have some leftovers for you next time. Lord Stanham, do you really enjoy ruining the mood? What is going on here? What did I do? What the hell did I do?
AD, be nice.
Okay, Diablo, you know how they say there is a porn category for everything? Hang on.
Plug your ears.
The rest of the question.
Plug your ears.
Why can't they find one for 70s starlets scissoring as they skydive while wearing scuba gear?
Really?
Are you sure there isn't one? Are you sure? Have you gone through all of Reddit and only whatever fans and this and that? Have you been every? How do you know that there isn't one? How do you know that there's not that category? I've never found it. Okay. just keep looking. I'm sure there's something there anywhere. Okay, Lord Stanley. The committee asked me to relay this to you. How exactly do you spell hemorrhoids correctly? Oh. Isn't it 1 M, 2 R's? Siri. How do you spell hemorrhoids? Okay, that's the British spelling. Okay. Siri, what is the American English spelling of hemorrhoids? Oh, here it is. Here it is. Let me spell the chat. Well, yeah, you got it there. Abigail Sally has it right. That's the American spelling. The British spelling has an A. It's H-A-E, but the American spelling is H-E-R. A 2-R and an H-O-I-D-S-E. So there you go. Thank you. Thank you, Abigail Sally and Siri for that spelling. Let's see where we at here. Lord Stanhope asks, would you prefer to date a mean girl or have a girlfriend in a cone? That's quite serious. The thought that went through my head should never have gone through my head as a joke. It's not even not to say that joke, but I guess the Bean Girl just as you can have some reaction to her. I don't know. Hello, Evan. What's up? And Don O'Leary. What's up? Avocado Stiavli asks, is the irony of calling everything fascist whilst also screaming about how the government cannot be shut down in a second because it's so intertwined with people's lives, people will die and lost on Democrats. Yeah, it's irony as it's ironic as hell. It's ironic as hell that we don't want the government shut down, but this Donald Trump's government's a fascist government. But Bill, you should be happy it's shut down right now, right? Fascists, they're shut down. Lord Stanhope asks, if P. Diddy does not get prison, how long, in your professional opinion, as bartender, does Sean have left on Earth? Unfortunately, he'll be around. Well, I don't wish anyone was dead. Let me not imply that, but I think he's going to be around for a while. Although, maybe the people who think he was involved in that whole Biggie Tupac thing, who knows? After Seattle asks, how come Scott Day and Ice Pirates doesn't get any love? Well, because chicks, that's what chicks. Lord Sandov asked, if Sean goes to prison, how long until he slips some soap or falls off a tier and gets his head caught in the closing cell door?
Yep.
Just to let you go, I
think he has some friends inside
let
prison.
you know you got
so
any
he might
power.
Lord Sandov asked, what is the technical difference between
Just wait till you see my account. It's
and
really
living? No, that's a question for Tyre, because I have no idea. Okay, the undead, let's put it this way. Let's see, Living Dead, the undead. Living Dead, isn't that like vampires? And the undead, like zombies? I'm not sure. Someone give me the distinction. I'm not sure. Oh, you own both those movies, Blue Ice Cream? I've never seen either. I've never seen Ice Cream either. Avocado Diabli asked, speaking of Richard Gere, do you think he has graduated to cop bars?
No.
I was going to avoid the gerbil jokes with Richard Gere, and now you give me a giant gerbil. It's possible. Lord Santa asked, you understand that Dick Gere moved onto Squirrel's Wagon? Well, according to AD, it's Capybara, so there you go. Lord Santa asked, why didn't Blue Oyster Cult get more respect? Should have been at least Sandy Bowles. That was cool with arrows. That was Blue Oyster Cult. That was the second concert I ever went to. Both times. Brother and sister. Was he like Blue Oyster Cult? I thought, and plus, when I was a kid, I had no idea who Blue Oyster Cult was, but he had an extra ticket. He's like, hey, you want to go to the concert with us? I was 14, 13, whatever. And I thought Blue Oyster Cult was like a hard rock band, like a metal band at the time. And I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. Oh, I know this song. Oh, I know that song. I knew something song. Like, oh, that's Blue Oyster Cult. I thought they were like a metal band. And the guy, in the middle of this show, every rock band had the drum solo. What was cool about theirs is the dude, it basically started in the dark with like one light on him, and then the light starts turning blue, and then everything turned blue. And so there's just, as this drum solo is getting more intense, the blue light's getting more intense. And it's just actually a really cool effect. And it's the only thing you can see because all the other lights are off. But anyway, that's what I thought of Blue Oyster Cult. Avocado Diabli asked, do you think you'll ever know the name of the first person who discovered that if you speak into a moving fan, you can make your voice sound funny? I'm gonna guess that it's probably Lucille Ball. I would guess because she was kind of funny and she would think of something like that. No one else even had thought of it. She thought it would be funny to talk to her fan, then all of a sudden it did some weird thing to her voice, and she probably thought it was hilarious. So I'm going to say Lucille Ball. That's the name. So it's been discovered because I said so. I have got to oddly ask. Oh shoot, what did I do there? Oh, what? There are a lot of questions. He said, ask Castelli, if you had 10 foot of clothes, 2 potatoes, some nails, camel, 2 car tires, an electric motor, gallon of ice cream, some yellow cake, uranium, and a statue from the Big Boy restaurant, what would you make? I would make a replica of Noah's Ark that I could push like a wood. Look at your materials list. I don't know what the camel is, but everything else. Mrz-Wild-Wolf asks, if you could sentence Diddy, what sentence would you give him? Well, look, if I could sentence Diddy, I would have overturned the jury's not guilty for trafficking, avian jail, at least 30 years. But the max is 11, you should get 11. That's right. Lord Standup, and a sermon from Mass this morning was said that the Lord punishes no one. He merely allows you to face the repercussions of your action. What are your thoughts on this view? Well, look, the concept is that Jesus forgives. It's almost sense through it. If you're solid, like, there's also the case made that even if something you're tired, so, but I think that their punishment of the possibility of hell probably is those who never make that choice, or excuse me, I said, or never who are aware of that choice and never make that choice. I think that people who are never aware of that choice would be seen as innocent and would somehow be. Let's see. Select a Boy asks, should we organize a soap and washcloth giveaway for Antifa? Yeah, because they do look like very dirty. Or Santa Claus. I can see why many, are saying like cops and baths in New York City, I get it. But can we also agree that if of this group, all protesters are
You have to trust a 17-year-old who loves hitting in the street.
Okay,
no lucky. No lucky.
No, I'm not going to give you that. Not all Antifa protesters are drug addicts, but a large number of them are. A lot of them are professional protesters. And the guy Seattle asks, if you ever owned a CB radio, and if so, what was your call sign? No, I was too young. I never owned a CB. In fact, back in the 70s, for whatever reason, the trucker craze went on, the CB radio craze.
There's that.
Convoy by CB.
No, tell them that it was for me.
No.
And I was always trying to talk my dad to get the CB radio. I wanted to be able to talk to the truckers when I was a kid, but it just never got it. And if you're too young to know what a CB radio is, do people still use, do truckers still use CB radios? I'm not even sure. I think they do. I don't know if they do or not. Avocado Diablo asks, is this your first question?
We have.
No, silly. Lord Santa asks, being an old friend of Matt Stone was taking. We watched how in Mexico the local state police were rioting against the national police because of a corruption arrest. How long until it happens here? Oh man, like you mean like if there's going to be a city where, where ICE and the local city police start clashing? It could happen. There's some of these mayors, man, are saying, well, look at California, where Gavin Newsom passed this bill where their ICE police officers are not allowed to wear masks, which is kind of dumb because, well, wait, can Antifa in California wear masks? Can any other entity wear masks? And first of all, how does the state of California have jurisdiction over federal law enforcement? They don't. But here's my point. I could see it happening in California, where if they're doing an ICE raid in California and the police, say San Francisco or something, or Los Angeles, decide that they're going to arrest ICE agents because they're wearing masks. I can see that skirmish happen. I can see it happen. So, when's going to happen? Probably soon. Bestiality asks, at what point does dragging someone behind your car or chain go from between fun to attempted murder? Oh, God, that's a disgusting question. That's disgusting. What? Immediately. Midnight asks, what is your favorite thing to do? Travel and see new things. Even if it's just traveling 30 miles to a different town.
Yeah, they're just trying to beat me in this heart contest.
What would be the biggest killer of vacation? Any type of getting sick. Like, getting just a really...
You have gamer fingers.
Or even something simple as Montezuma revenge here in Mexico. It does get a vacation. But getting sick, definitely. Lord Santa, would you support a transformative night that list what they are willing to do for what price? Hey, look, and illegal. Yeah, someplace it's legal. Like I wouldn't be shocked if they had something like that in Las Vegas where it's legal. All right. Oh, a burger joint. I'm looking at the regular joint. I know a burger joint.
Okay, that's it.
Tell me what it is. Just tease me like that. Let's see. Oh, gross. What? Hey, sometimes you just. And guys, the audience, who is the best center square of the classic Hollywood squares? Oh, that's. So, if. No, but there's never been a better square on Hollywood squares, period, of any time whatsoever, than Paul Lynn. Paul Lynn is funny. And there has been some funny people in that center square. I'm sorry. There's been, Charles Nelson Riley was the center square for a while. Whoopi Goldberg was the center square in her era. Paul Lynn, by far, was so freaking funny. He was amazing for that show. Okay. And he was also, wasn't he also on, what's the other one that, Jim J. Bullock, he was funny too.
Finger? You only have one finger?
He was also funny on Match Game too. He was hilarious. So anyway, Midnight asks, if you could choose one person, me, Adam Catastiabli, or TC, who would you choose to go on a road trip with? I'm sorry, you're all out. I prefer just going with my mom. Besides, you're underage. I can't go anywhere with you. I would not go anywhere on any road trip with another female car because out of respect for them.
Okay, that's fair.
But someday we'll have lunch.
Yay!
Midnight asked, when was the War of 1912? Whatever war that is, I believe it was in 1912. I've got to see how the past. You asked the human brisket for your last meal? Do they have to give it to you? No! That's the question I saw. That I said, you're sick. You're sick. Sick. Afghanistan, what if you asked for a fried dodo for your last meal? They would not be able to provide. Remember, it's
Yeah, I
the
don't
last
know
meal
why.
thing concept. They don't have to give you it.
Spelling bee.
And if they can't have it,
No.
if they don't, if it doesn't exist,
I didn't do it the other day.
All right. Afghanistan asks, if we ever come up with miniaturization technology that lets you shrink a person to the size of a molecule, how will we catch you in smugglers? Well, look, here's the problem.
Nice
try. Oh, I see what you're saying.
It's not a nice try.
Can you? I'm assuming that you can shrink them to the size of a molecule and then return them to the regular size, right? If the Home Depot, the little street outside of Home Depot, if it's empty and then poof, there's suddenly 70 people out there waiting for a guy to have a job, just the rest of them will figure out this. Is that a good answer? Because the obvious, would they allow a scanner that forced anything shrunk down with it to expand and put crossings to stop people? Oh, that's my God! You had the best answer. Holy shit! Let me go back and read both of those in order because he had the solution in his next question. Listen to this again. Listen. If we ever come up with a miniaturization technology that lets you shrink a person to the size of a molecule, how will we catch you with smugglers? And then the next question would be, would they allow a scanner that forced anything shrunk down with it to expand at border crossings to stop people? Then yes! Yes! Perfect! That's it! Why didn't you just... Lord Sando, what's for dinner? Tomorrow. I don't know. We're going to a wedding tomorrow. I don't know what they're serving. So that's a good question. So I don't remember we had choices. Look, we got this invitation to this wedding like 4 months ago. And I'm assuming Lady Boone just
Okay, I'm done with this.
chose she just probably guessed. I don't know what asked me. And even if she did, it was 3-4 months ago. I don't even remember. All I know is that we're going to a wedding. Whatever they serve at the wedding, I'm going to be eating. Unless it's human person. Okay. Because Pepsi always has. Speaking of people stuck in a canoe at Niagara Falls, what is the best model of car to use to transport 1,000 muskrats to the secret? 1,000 muskrats? It would be a 1972 Lincoln Continental Ford with the extra large trunk. I think you could probably stuff 1,000 muskrats in that car and still have enough room to drive it. So, 1972 Lincoln Continental Ford. Ms. Wild-Wolf asked, when is the soonest you can make Midnight and Mrz?
Hey!
And the dinging bobber here, well...
No!
How about...
Stop.
What are the absolute worst possible situations to a cop who's pulling you over for dragging a pedestrian 2 city blocks under your car?
That's funny.
Excuse me.
No! Don't say that. Don't say that. No, Mom, no.
Okay, Midnight asks, is this the last question? Sorry, it's not. Lord Stanhope asked, does liverwurst count as eating liver?
Oh!
I don't know. What is liverwurst?
Oh dear.
Liverwurst is made with liver. So yes, it counts. Ding, 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 ding. Avocado Diablo asks, what if the human smuggler pulled a Richard Gere with shrunken people and passed them?
About it.
Ooh, that would be nasty. Especially if it was more than like, you know, even if it's just one person. But imagine they miniaturized those people, did a Richard Gere, and there's like 70 of them. Oh, that would be just a nasty old explosion.
Femnumble Nation. Bratwursts are made with brat. Be careful, kids.
Yes. Is this the end? My only friend, the end. Not quite. Followed by Avocado Diablo. Is this the last question? Well, you added another question after that, so you know it's not the last question, goddammit. Avocado Diablo asks, speaking of sausage, have you ever had fish sausage? Fish sausage? No. No, I haven't. I've never even heard of fish sausage. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the last question. All right, Friday, Q, and hey, and then somebody put two no more questions. What's that? Why just why would you drink a drink? That's a trick question. And then there's now no more questions. No, yeah, no more questions. That's the last question. No, it was Wild-Wolf. What's your favorite day of the week? Didn't you ask me this last time?
Nope.
I think Saturdays. I like Saturdays. Well, Fridays because I can make a road trip for 4 hours. Lord Stanhope asks, this is the last question now, no more. But seriously, are you sure about that?
I did.
Yes, that. Not ever sure about everything. All right, that's it. No more questions. I'm afraid Q&A. All right, before I go, I'm gonna show you a couple pictures. Let's on the vacation this week. You go to Instagram, find this picture. You'll see that
Oh yeah, I seen that one.
we did a tour of weird statues. So, for example, we got this. This is Little Tom. That's Big Tom. So, a statue. Then we saw Paul Bunyan. That's the big boom. So, this is great. I was holding my dog. They had this thing here. We could be Paul Bunyan's babe. And so the dog was babe. This is that's what the set. The set's Paul Bunyan's sweetheart. This big fish, Minnesota. This is the jumping deer in Bemidji, Minnesota. This is only half the trip. Then there's the Panther Ojibwe in Bemidji, Lake Bemidji, Paul Bunyan and Babe in Bemidji. And where's the Blue Ox? Well, there you go, Slickboy. There's the one for Blue Ox. There's a whole bunch of Paul Bunyan. So, and then we were at the northernmost point in the contiguous United States. And so that was the first half of the trip. I will show you the second half of the trip later. Follow me on Instagram. Marty's Free Journey. And we got Marty got jokes. And there you go. That's it. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me. Let me drop these links in the chat, and I will go. Hope you all have a fantastic weekend.
Come on.
Yeah.
Hey, post.
Anyway, thanks everybody who contributed questions, sponsors, chatters, and general mayhem chat. Have a great day. My name's P-Dog Knight, and I'm out of here. Here come the links. I'll just put it there without a mistake. It'll also be in the chat or in the description. What did I say? Oh, I'm P-Dog Knight. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Now.
I just told you. I already put it up there.
Subscribe. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely put that bell that pops up afterwards so that you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show before we back up. social media and make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again. Until next time, keep dog.
Alrighty. Puppy Dog Nights is done. So what did you think of the live today?
Fun.
Funny?
They can't even listen to me.
No, I said that. You're teeny tiny today. More child. Well, you are. Yeah, I'm a little irritated with that one. Yeah, I want to kick her butt.
I was just being funny about it. I didn't think he was actually gonna do it.
You said it from me. Ahmad.
I was being funny about it. But yeah, this is my account. I only have one.
I'll thank you. So it is Friday. Typically on Fridays we have a pretty easy day, but she has a spelling test today.
Oh no!
Hand over the book.
You don't like.
Go get your book. By chance, did you see my
Alright, take
mechanical
care.
pencil? Okay, amazing fun. So when we go to the store today, I have to pick up red pens. For her classes. Yes, I use an old fashioned. Sure. It works better. Hey. Are you ready, Emma? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Your first word is performance. Did you go to the performance? The second word is lighting. The lighting is doing a little better today. Your third word is audition. Did you pass the audition?
What is the original?
Third word is characterization.
I keep thinking it's crazy.
The next word is dialogue. Please give me the dialogue. Blocking. Blocking. Stop blocking the door. Rehearsal. You need to be at rehearsal in order to be in the play. Monologue. Keep a monologue at all times. Prologue. Director. How many is that? You should have more. You would have known. On average, it would be 10. So, you got 2 right this week. Performance and blocking. How did you get lighting wrong?
No, I didn't.
Lightning.
ING.
Look again.
That's how I do my eyes. Cause the dot was up there, and then I went down to bring the. Mom, look. Cause see, there's a line right here. The eye goes up here, and I move my hand without picking it up, so it looks like an N.
I'll be nice this time, only next time write it better. You hear me?
So you're pretty much saying that I'm getting it wrong because of my freaking handwriting.
It does not. If a teacher in the building were to look at it, they'd say the same thing. Don't give me that. Okay. So you have to write your words 10 times each. Come on. Ready? You ready? Okay, what's the first one you got wrong? Well, if you know how to spell it, don't worry. What's the second one you got wrong? A U B I T I O N C H A R A C T E R I Z A T I O N. D I A L O G U E. R, it's rehearsal. R E H E A R S A L. You need to start. R E H E A R S A L. M O N O L O G U E. P R O L O G U E. E I R E C T O R. Number 10. Okay. Did you turn on the lights as well?
Say my question is what?
Huh? REHEARSAL.
Wait, how did I get director wrong?
Look at how you spelled the people in the other one.
It's spelled DIRECTOR. That's how I spelled it.
Yeah. Alright, that looks like a C, not an R. Okay. What you done? What you... Next time, yo, listen, please.
I know.
Next time, number it, have a space in between. Do it the right way, okay? Okay? Okay. Okay. There is something I want you to see. We're going to do a little bit of history. Go ahead. It's not that bad. Excuse you. We're not doing that. Okay. Very nice. All right. Now you need to pay attention, please. Thank you.
Slavery is as old as human civilization, dating back beyond recorded history, and it exists even still today. Every culture on every continent practiced some form of slavery, whether it was serfdom, indentured servitude, or collective peasantry. However, when the slave trade is mentioned, people normally think of the black African slave trade to the Western Hemisphere.
Okay.
During the colonial period, from 1500 to the mid-1800s, as practiced by the European colonial powers. Estimates range from 10 to 13 million Africans being brought to the New World, with around 10 million surviving to be sold in North and South America, as well as in the Caribbean islands. Of this number, the best estimate is that 450,000 went to the British, French, and Spanish colonies in what is now the United States and Caribbean. Brazil alone received almost 5 million, the rest going to the Spanish colonies in South America. Slavery still exists in the world, yet most of the major powers ignore the fact and refuse to even acknowledge that it still exists. It is still quite active. Yet, 6 decades before the American Civil War, a war was fought by the United States on foreign shores to try and stop the white slave trade. What was the white slave trade? Does it still exist? Who were the Barbary pirates? What was the result of American intervention? How did it occur, and what was the aftermath? And how did 9 U.S. Marines and their mercenaries make history and give birth to a legendary fighting force, while also ending the white slave trade in North Africa. Hello, I'm Colin Heaton, former soldier, Marine Corps Scout Sniper, history professor, historian and book author, and we will answer these questions and other issues on this segment of Forgotten History.
Right. Excellent intro.
During the late 18th and early 19th centuries, the world was on fire, as France and Britain were engaged in the Napoleonic Wars, which was another series of conflicts just like the 7 Years' War, again involving every nation in Europe. The 7 Years' War was also known as the French and Indian War in the United States. Both these conflicts were fought on every continent and on every ocean and in every colony. Even during these protracted wars, the transatlantic slave trade continued. It was big business. While the European powers were destroying each other, Thomas Jefferson became the third president of the United States from March 4th, 1801 to March 4th, 1809, and he had several major issues to contend with. The Louisiana Purchase of 1803 from France doubled the size of the United States. The Yazoo territorial disputes in western Georgia were hotly contested. The launching of the Lewis and Clark expedition in 1804 to explore the newly acquired country, and the contested issue of slavery. In 1806, Jefferson denounced the international slave trade as a violation of human rights and called upon Congress to criminalize it. Congress responded by approving the act prohibiting importation of slaves the following year. No longer could slaves be brought from Africa, although slavery was still legal in the United States. Then there were also the rising tensions between the United States and Great Britain, which dominated the final years of Jefferson's second term, as the Royal Navy had been seizing American merchant ships and impressing sailors. However, one situation which has gone largely unnoticed in history was Jefferson being the first president to send the military overseas into direct action. The war against the Barbary pirates. For decades prior to Jefferson's accession to office, the Barbary Coast pirates of North Africa had been capturing foreign merchant and warships, stealing their valuable cargoes and enslaving crew members, while often demanding huge ransoms for their release. Many of these ships and crews were American. Before independence, American merchant ships were protected from the Barbary pirates by the naval and diplomatic influence of Great Britain, which had threatened military force should their ships be molested. However, that American protection came to an end after the colonies won their independence. The Barbary pirates also attacked the coastal northern Mediterranean, launching attacks against France, Italy, and Sicily, kidnapping women as white slaves, primarily and whenever possible, notable wealthy persons and ships for ransom. In their feverish search for white women slaves, a few pirates even went as far as the coast of Iceland.
Oh, what the world? Kidnapping white women for hold on, let me take that back. I want to make sure I heard that correctly.
Coastal northern Mediterranean, launching attacks against France, Italy, and Sicily, kidnapping women as white slaves, primarily and whenever possible, notable wealthy persons and ships for ransom. In their feverish search for white women slaves, a few pirates even went.
Bro, see, this is stuff that, like I said, I didn't know about. Kidnapping women for slaves? Oh, man.
As far
I did not know this.
Iceland, raiding inland to kidnap women and bring them back to North
I
Africa.
mean, enslaving anybody is just terrible in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like, because like I said, you're forcing people to do stuff they don't want to do, and they have no other choice, or they, you know, they will be beaten, or whatever the case may be. So, regardless of if you black, white, mixed, whatever your skin, it don't really matter. Enslaving somebody else is just terrible, you know. But this right here is, man, like I said, I didn't even know this right here.
Africa. North African slave markets thrived, as under Islamic law, known as Sharia. Although fellow Muslims could not be enslaved, non-Muslims could be and were. Over a period of more than 300 years, it is estimated that 1 million white Europeans, to include those captured at sea as well as through land raids abroad, were enslaved. Many of these were Americans captured at sea. In 1794, in reaction to the attacks, Congress had passed a law authorizing the payment of tribute to the Barbary states. Part of that law was the Naval Act of 1794, which authorized the construction of 6 frigates, establishing the United States Navy. By the end of the 1700s, when Jefferson was Secretary of State, the United States had concluded treaties with all of the Barbary states, the Ottoman regencies of Algiers, Tunis, and Tripoli, along with independent Morocco. When Congress authorized $80,000 for Morocco to not molest American shipping, it was considered a good deal, as it was a cost savings compared to the loss of ships, cargo, and sailors. The Bey of Algiers, Mustafa Baba, also agreed, and many American merchantmen were escorted by Portuguese warships, as Portugal also had a treaty with the Islamic states. But Jefferson was opposed to paying tribute, which he considered to be a modern Danegeld. When Saxon England paid the Danish Vikings not to attack, it did not work. Although Morocco and Algiers initially agreed, just weeks before Jefferson took office, Tripoli began a...
So they paid the Morocco not to attack, but yet they did it anyway. That is crazy, bro. And it looked so scary, like when they show like the pictures of like the big old boats being in the waters and stuff like that, and you can see, y'all know how it is, like when you in the, I guess when you're in the ocean or something, and it's a real bad thunderstorm, and the water is just swooshing on up and stuff like that. That is just scary, and that's what the pictures look like. I'm like, man, imagine you already fighting with somebody, and then you dealing with that water and stuff, and the thunder, bro. It's like a lot going on.
Attacking American merchant ships in an attempt to extract further tribute, Jefferson had seen enough. Jefferson tried diplomacy. In his letter to Pasha Yusuf Karamanli, emphasized, "Our sincere desire to cultivate peace and commerce with your subjects." Pasha Karamanli, the ruler of modern-day Tunisia, felt that the Americans had insulted him by not offering to pay tribute. He threatened continued actions if not so respected. Pasha Karamanli was already at war with Sweden, having broken an existing treaty after Sweden agreed to pay annual tribute and ransom for 131 captives. 14 Swedish merchantmen had been seized by Tripolitan corsairs. Some of these were white women who were being transported on Swedish merchantmen, and it is not known if they were ever recovered. As the white women were rarely ransomed, they were highly prized and sold. The Pasha then declared war on the United States on May 14, 1801 by chopping down the flagpole at the American consulate in Tripoli, a direct act of war. Jefferson sent 3 frigates and a schooner under the command of U.S.
And y'all know, like, I do watch these videos, but at the same time, I do listen to what y'all say in the comment section, because sometimes when I get information from some of these videos, a lot of y'all will be like, I agree with this, but this right here wasn't right. This right here what really happened. So please leave your comment down below, because I would love to hear what y'all got to say about this, and let me know, like, what I'm listening to is actually true. You know, like I say, everybody has their own opinion on things, especially like this. So please inform me down below in the comment section if you are agreeing with a lot that's being said in the video.
Navy Commodore Richard Dale as a show of force and to protect U.S. ships entering the Mediterranean through the Straits of Gibraltar. Dale learned of the declaration when he reached Gibraltar on July 1st, 1801. From that point, Dale's ships blocked 2 of the Pasha's corsairs operating as raiders and messengers inside the harbor. Yusuf Karamanli was shocked at the American audacity. The Sultan of the Ottoman Empire, Selim III in Istanbul, was also less than amused, yet did not interfere when the Americans became involved. He had just concluded treaties with Russia and Austria and was trying to westernize his empire along Western lines. This included eliminating the white slave trade, and this position was not favored by many of his subordinate regional leaders, especially in North Africa, and they launched a revolt against him, and his cousin and successor, Mustafa IV, had him murdered in 1807.
Wow.
He was not about to give up such a lucrative business. The U.S. blockades halted Barbary trade and raids with Europe, but did not stop Tripoli's trade with the other Barbary states. It did, however, incite the other rulers, who considered siding with the Pasha, and they expelled their American diplomats. The United States was putting a major dent into their pirate enterprises, to include the white slave trade. The possibility of Tunis, Algiers, and Morocco joining forces as a result of losing this lucrative business became a serious concern during 1802, but in 1803, Captain Edward Preble was the new American naval commander, and he was aware of the white slave trade and piracy, and he began to deal with it. On September 12, 1803, the USS Constitution arrived off the Barbary coast to confront the Tripolitan pirates. In October 1803, the frigate USS Philadelphia ran aground and was attacked and seized, and the 307-man crew was held for ransom. In response, on February 16, 1804, a group under Navy Lieutenant Stephen Decatur slipped into Tripoli harbor after dark, boarded and set fires that destroyed the Philadelphia.
Ooh.
The Pasha, in response, demanded an outrageous sum in ransom for his American hostages, even threatening death if it was not paid. In 1804, Commodore Samuel Barron, aboard the USS President, took command of 11 vessels, and he had new orders. But due to illness, he handed command of the squadron to Captain John Rogers. Jefferson had again seen enough and decided to take direct and immediate action. He sent the order. Ex-Consul William Eaton, a former Army captain who used the title of general, and United States Marine Corps First Lieutenant Presley O'Bannon, would lead a force of 8 U.S. Marines and 500 mercenaries to take Derna and free any hostages. These mercenaries were Greeks from Crete, Arabs, and Berbers, opposed to the regime, and started on a march across the desert from Alexandria, Egypt in April 1805. Their objective was to capture the Tripolitan city of Derna. The Muslim troops were under the command of Egyptian Sheikh El Tahib, the Ottoman Empire viceroy. William Eaton, who was overbearing and not very friendly, kept himself aloof from his men and was in overall command but leading only half the group. He had a tough job controlling the largely undisciplined mercenaries.
Well, it's like every time you turn around, but it's like Thomas Jefferson said, you know what? We not finna let this happen. I done seen enough. Like, he literally let him know when he done seen enough, he done seen enough. He got sick of that.
And the infighting between the Christian Greeks and Muslims, few of whom were professional soldiers, became a problem. His promises of money and loot once they took Derna was looked upon skeptically. However, O'Bannon and his 8 Marines embedded with their mercenaries shared food, hardship, water, and earned their trust. O'Bannon decided to take the Muslims from Eaton, exchanging them for his Greeks. The Marines built a strong fellowship by not denigrating the Islamic faith. They discussed their similarities and differences. O'Bannon also knew that many of these men had either been hostages themselves or had lost friends and family to the white slave trade.
Wow.
Eaton reported in May 1805, quote, "Our only provisions are a handful of rice and 2 biscuits a day," end quote. From March 22nd to March 30th, several Arab mercenaries under the command of Sheikh Hamid El Tahib staged mutinies. By April 8th, when he crossed the border into Libya and Tripoli, Eaton had quelled the Arab mutinies, but he could not stop the desertions. In late April, his army finally reached the port city of Bomba, some miles up the coast from Derna, where U.S. Navy warships USS Argus, Nautilus, and Hornet, with Commodore James Barron and Captain Isaac Hull, were waiting for him. Eaton received fresh supplies and the money to pay his mercenaries. Argus gave an additional cannon to the troops. On April 26th, Captain Hull's ships then opened fire and bombarded Derna's batteries for an hour. Meanwhile, Eaton divided his remaining...
Bro, that had to be some scary stuff, just being in that water like that. Like, look at all the smoke and stuff. I'm guessing that's coming from the explosions and stuff. I guess with all the shoes and stuff like that, that would just be terrifying to me, bro. Like, oh my God. That would be like very, very scary, man.
The army to 2 separate attacking parties. The attack began at 14:45 hours. Lieutenant O'Bannon and his Marines leading the attack with 50 inexperienced Greek gunners. Eaton's force was halted due to high volumes of enemy musketry, but O'Bannon pushed his men through the inaccurate fire, as witnessed from the ships. Carefully interchanging his men into various ranks to fire, advance, reload, and continue the process, O'Bannon's force took the Fort Cannon. Eaton wounded in the left wrist reported later that O'Bannon with his Marines and Greek, quote, passed through a shower of musketry from the walls of houses, took possession of the battery, end quote. Eaton's forces caught up and turned the defenders' own abandoned guns against them, pushing them out of the city and into a well-placed ambush set up by O'Bannon just outside the main gate. During the entire battle, O'Bannon lost 2 men killed and 3 wounded Marines, with 9 of his mercenaries. Eaton's losses among the Muslims is unknown. O'Bannon raised the flag over the captured city at 1600 hours. They had just defeated a force 4 times their number, who were in a fortified defensive posture. And for the first time in American history, that a flag from the United States had been raised on foreign soil. Hostages were freed, and the Navy sank the powder ships in harbor. Accurate naval fire from Argus and the other ships forced them back, and Derna remained in American hands. Yusuf reluctantly signed a peace treaty on June 10, 1805, aboard the USS Constitution. The treaty granted American ships passage through the Mediterranean without further payments of tribute and freedom from harassment. This also meant joining the other European nations in halting the very active and overt white slave trade. The war was over, and so was active white slavery from North Africa. Marine Corps legend has it that Hamet presented O'Bannon with a Mameluke sword, a sign of prestige and power. Emboldened by this event, more European nations also increased their naval presence and resisted the Barbary pirates, stopped paying tribute, crippling their commercial trade and extortion rackets, ending their raids on southern coastal Europe, ending hostage-taking.
Boy, it's like every time you turn around, it was a lot of fighting going on, man. People just losing their lives, people losing their mercenaries. Like, wow. It was crazy back then. You just never knew what to expect, whether you were gonna get shot, get cut with a sword, killed with a sword, or just beaten. Like, it was just so much going on back then.
Their demand for ransoms and the white slave trade. Presley O'Bannon and his 8 Marines had done the seemingly impossible, but it would not be the last time Marines were called upon to do the impossible and succeed. Semper Fi. We hope you enjoyed this segment of Forgotten History.
Wow.
Please click like.
Wow. Truth about the white slave trade. Like I said, man, I gathered a lot of stuff from this right here. Wow. Like I said, it was a lot of people losing their life. What they were making, like the women, where I see that they said white women making, like, come on, man. Then they were stripped butt naked and just held up like that, enslaved them, bro. It was just a lot of stuff in here. I'm like, man, I did not know that. So, but if it's something like this that y'all agree with, and please let me know down below in the comment section, because y'all tend to let me know all the time if something is true or not, you know. So y'all please let me know. But we have made it to the end of the video. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.
The country was founded on common law because the Declaration only refers to God 4 times in the Constitution. It doesn't refer to God at all, and it only articulates the structure of government.
So first of all, remember that we were a collection of states and colonies, and you need to read the state constitutions before anything else. 9 out of 13 of the original states required you to be a Bible-believing Christian to serve in government at the time of the founding. Well, 13 out of 13 required a declaration of faith. 9 out of 13 required you to be a Protestant, except Maryland, which was Catholic, which still required a declaration of faith. Almost every single one of the original state constitutions, Pennsylvania included, they had, I profess Lord and Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior in the original state constitution. You remember, we're a collection of states before that. Secondly, 55 out of 56 of the original signers of the Declaration were Bible-believing, church-attending Christians. The common law is inherited from Blackstone, who was Christian. The common law is an outgrowth of the scriptures. So let's go to 3 principles of common law: presumption of innocence, due process, and jury of your peers. All 3 are biblical principles wrapped into the ultimate biblical principle that you shall not favor justice if you are rich or poor, which is Leviticus 19, right before the most famous part of Leviticus 19, which is that you should love your neighbor as yourself. But before that is that in the administration of justice, you shall not favor the rich or the poor, which is the idea of blind justice. We get that in the West, which is incorporated also in the New Testament ideal: neither slave nor Greek nor Jew, you're all one in Jesus Christ, which we have the idea of human equality. These are all biblical ideas. They're not Enlightenment ideas, which is they kind of get conflated at the time. But more importantly than that, they say that God was only mentioned 4 times in the Declaration of Independence. Well, that's a big deal. Okay. Laws of nature and nature's God. The last paragraph of the Declaration reads as a prayer. It says, we appeal to the supreme judge of the universe. Who is the judge of the universe? Jesus Christ. It says in Revelation that Jesus will judge the earth on his throne. So in the Declaration, they were praying to Christ our Lord as a prayer very specifically. Thirdly, as I set up stage yesterday, Deuteronomy was by far the most quoted book, religious or non-religious, in the time of the founding when they were putting together the Constitution. More than John Locke, more than Montesquieu, more than Blackstone. The book of Deuteronomy, which talked about laws, customs, traditions. It was Moses' farewell address as he's about to say goodbye, say, hey, good luck in Canaan, guys. Here's how you should set up your form of government. But finally, and most importantly, let's look at actually what the founders said. John Adams famously said the Constitution was only written for a moral and religious people. It was wholly inadequate for the people of any other. The body politic of America was so Christian and was so Protestant that our form and structure of government was built for the people that believed in Christ our Lord. One of the reasons we're living through a constitutional crisis is that we no longer have a Christian nation, but we have a Christian form of government, and they're incompatible. You cannot have liberty if you do not have a Christian population.
Why are hundreds of U.S. generals and admirals being recalled to a meeting in Virginia.
So, of that video. Of that video. You didn't realize that there was that many white slaves in here. You taught that in school? What did you just say? Okay. It is 10 to noon, so we are gonna go on lunch. In 10 we do have some shopping we have to do. She's mad because I'm giving her a budget and she's gonna have a list of stuff she has to get, but in that list she can only use so much money. If she goes over that amount of money, then she's gonna have to put something back. So we are doing that for home ec because finances are important, and then
Yeah, but finances is home ec.
no, home ec shopping.
No,
Home ec
not
is
a
everything home economics, from cooking to cleaning to supplying your home. Young lady, shopping for certain things is part of home ec. Like laundry detergent, toilet paper, body wash, shampoo, animal food, right? Yeah, it's part of the household needs. Is it not? Okay. You're just mad because I'm actually making you do stuff.
No, it's because I'm forced to.
It's because you're forced to get an education.
No, that's not what it is. That's not what I was saying.
So tell me, are you gonna play in with? In a household, not including food, on average, how much does a household spend to keep it running? Can you guess? Okay, how much is laundry? No. Well, that's a good thing we're going to be doing that today because you're going to learn it. Yeah, she's irritated. That's fine. Many students get irritated. But we will be back later. We are going to be live while she is shopping. And then we might have I don't know. We'll see. So thank you guys for joining us. We hope you like what you see. Don't forget, if you like what you see, to subscribe, click the little bell, and smash the like button. Oh yeah, she does. Always remember, no matter what life throws at you, no matter what crazy curveball or child, or attitude, sheesh. Always remember, no matter what,